Bartenders of Reddit, what is the smoothest pickup line you've ever heard? Pickup lines are a straight hit or a miss. Either you get to take the guy or girl home, or you have to wear the embarrassment for the entire night. Today, we will look at some of the smoothest pickup lines ever said, even the bartender approves. Let's begin. Me. Hi, what can I get you? Her. 2 pints of lager and a shot of you. Cheesy, but made me laugh. If this isn't cheesy enough for you, wait till you hear the next one. A regular would start a conversation with a girl, wait for a second laugh out of her, and then drop the magic. When I text you goodnight later, what phone number should I use? Cue the third laugh and him getting her number. Every time. I am a bartender. I met my husband at work. He was a patron. The night of our first date, he said, "Do you want to come over and watch half a movie?" No wonder she married him. I was in another country with friends, and I asked the waitress where the best bar around was. Well, she started saying, "Oh, it depends on what you like." And I asked her which one I'd likely find her at. My friends thought I was very smooth. I guess she did too. What happens when the response is smoother than the pickup line itself? Read the next one to know. Bartended in college. Guy walked up to a girl at the bar, says, "Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm going to buy you drinks until you find me attractive." Girl smiled and laughed, and he asked what she would like to drink. She looked him over. He was already very attractive, turned to me and said, "In that case, I'll have water." He definitely got it that night. Not a bartender, but hooked up with one once. It was closing time, and she said, "If you don't work here or banging the staff, time to leave." I leaned over and said, "Guess I'm staying," with the confidence that only a recently divorced man could have. It worked, oddly enough. Another Redditor replied, "Actually, her line worked on you, not the other way around." We do agree, don't we? I worked at a beach bar. I watched a young guy walk up to a smoking hot, tanned female lifeguard and say, "Help, I can't breathe." She was legitimately concerned and asked him what was wrong. He said, "Looking at you takes my breath away." She was pissed for a second and then began to laugh. They talked for a little while and then exchanged numbers. Moving on to the next one. My first month of bartending, I had a girl quickly finish 2 Cosmos. I came up and I asked her how she was doing. I'd have another one, but you'd have to take me home. Her group of friends got a nice laugh when I blushed. I wouldn't kick you out of bed for eating crackers. I was bartending at the Legion. She was a nice lady. I borrowed my friend's tiny backpack, put it on, and asked a woman at the bar, "Does this make my ass look fat?" It was literally the only time I've ever gotten a woman's phone number at the bar. The next story is really witty. Bartender here. Best pickup I've ever seen was when a group of 3 dudes college-aged were at the bar on my end. They started talking about this girl on the other side who was clearly the hottest girl at the bar. One of them jokingly said to another, "If you can get her number without saying a word, I'll buy you drinks the rest of the night." The kid who was dared waved me down, asked for a pen and napkin. He walked over and within 10 minutes came back with this girl in hand, asking his buddy who bet him for 2 Patron shots. I asked him what he did, and he showed me the napkin with her number. He played hangman on the napkin and spelled out, "Can I have your number?" And it actually worked. He and his girl were drinking heavily and for free the rest of the night. He also walked out with her, so I hope he scored. Bartender server here. A buzzed gentleman extends his hand to a slightly more buzzed woman and asks, "Will you hold this while I step outside?" They come back after sharing a cigarette, pay the tab, and take a cab together to wherever. Way late to a party, but heard this one while closing down a couple weeks back. "Come on, let's go back to my place. I'll make you a quesadilla." This girl had been swatting guys away like flies all night, but that one worked out. Who can say no to food, right? I handed a cute customer 2 pints of beer. He fumbled and inevitably dropped one, spilling it all over me. He looked at me with his cutest smile and said, "If I pretended I did that on purpose so I could use the 'let's get you out of those wet things' line, would you laugh or throw me out?" I laughed, and he spent the rest of the evening being sent to the bar by his friends to buy every single round so that he could flirt more. We went on a date a week later, and we were together for nearly 4 years. There's nothing more charming than a witty guy. Read the next one and you'll know why. I am not a bartender, but I witnessed this line this weekend and I thought it was fantastic. After this girl had turned down some pretty good looking fellow, This other guy walks up to the bar like he's gonna order a drink and just casually says, "Man, he's definitely taller than me, so I sure hope I can make you laugh." Didn't watch the whole thing unfold, but they were still chatting when I left. Not exactly a pickup line, but really clever, cool way a girl let me know she was interested. I noticed her on the opposite side of the bar and we smiled at each other. I was newly single and she was with a date and obviously bored. Still, she was with a date, and I'm not going to interrupt and be that kind of douchebag. After a few minutes, I walked around to her side of the bar to head to the bathroom. She stopped me and said, "Here, your pocket square is messed up." She fumbled with it a sec and said, "All good," and I moved to the restroom. I got home later and took my blazer off. I noticed something was off with the pocket square. She had stealth stashed a napkin with her name and number. I texted that night and we went out later that week. 11 out of 10 was impressed with the smooth. Well, we were impressed too. So let's read the next one. I work at a bar in Long Beach, New York. Male. A female customer was giving me advice on how to hit on my bartender coworker, a female, who was a very close friend of mine. She kept feeding me adorable things to say to my friend because she thought we looked cute together. I thanked her and took one step toward my friend, and then I turned back to her and repeated it all back. She took the bait and it landed me back at her place. Not myself, but my bartender relief. One night, her friends come in with this guy, and they get introduced to, but not in the, "Hey, this is blah blah blah," and try to hook them up right away. I guess they were just out with them. Anyways, they all close the bar down, as her friends normally do, and they start to leave while she cleans up the bar. She sees he's left his phone, so she runs out to give it to him. Fast forward a few weeks, and they come in and the same thing happens. Well, apparently he does it a third time, and she goes out and says something like, "Why do you keep forgetting your phone?" And he said something along the lines of, "Well, this is really the only alone time I get with you." A few dates, and about a year later, they're happily married. That's surely one lucky woman. The next one is sure smooth. I bartended in college. My buddies came to a visit during a UFC fight. One of them, after a few Crown and Sprites, walks up to a very attractive woman, definitely not a student, and asks, "If you were a pirate, would you put a parrot on this shoulder," pointing at her shoulder closest to him, "or this shoulder," reaching his arm around her to the other one. They left together right after that. Quick fact, I stole that line and I used it on my now wife. Yeah, I asked my future wife. Me, have any plans this weekend? Her, no. Me, want to make some? She still talks about how smooth that was. I don't know, I guess it worked. I wish you were my pinky toe so I could bang you on my coffee table. The next one will make you crack. I was a bartender in a college town. The best one I heard was when a guy approached a girl at the bar. Guy, "Hey, looks like you dropped something." Girl, "Really? What?" Guy, "Your standards. Hi, I'm Mike." Girl laughed so hard she spilled her drink and he bought her a new one. That sure was fun, right? Well, now you have a list of witty pickup lines to use next time. Thanks to these Redditors. Do you have a pickup line that you swear works every single time? Comment down below and let us know. Who knows? It might help someone out in the club next time. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching. We will be back with more such fun videos soon.